into the panel question and answer session. And first of all, let me say that we are going to be very rigorous about keeping time. Our Cracker Jack timekeeper, Les, down in the front row here, is holding up signs for each candidate. And if a candidate continues speaking, once Les has held up the stop sign, I will stop you. So just fair warning. So here's how the Q&A is going to work. We've got 8 questions coming from our 4 panelists, and each of our candidates will have time to respond to each of those questions. The candidates will each have 1.5 minutes for their response, and the candidate who goes first on each question will also have an opportunity to offer a 30-second rebuttal after the others have gone. So it sounds a little complicated, but you'll get the hang of it as we go. So we are going to start with candidate Williams for this first question. And she will answer it first, then Colonel Glenn, then Senator Bennett, and then it'll go back to candidate Williams for a 30-second rebuttal. Got it? And Bob will give us the first question.
Thank you. 9 in 10 Coloradans age 65 plus receive Social Security benefits that average $1,230 a month. The collective positive economic impact of these benefit checks moving through the Colorado economy is $20 billion per year. In June, the annual trustees report on Social Security once again forecast that the trust fund will be depleted by 2034, at which time these monthly benefit checks will be reduced by up to 25%. Here's my question, the last significant change and update to Social Security was done in a bipartisan manner by President Reagan and Tip O'Neill back in the 1980s. Will you commit to updating Social Security for future generations?
It is sad to say people who work hard all their lives and count on Social Security for their retirement income is going to face this harsh reality. For $1 you put in, you get less out, or it's not going to last your lifetime, and now you're facing potential benefits cut, and even money will be all gone in next to 10 or 20 years. That's another example why this country is also broke. Do you still trust your government to take care of you from birth to death? You're supposed to count on retirement money, but it's not there. Where's the lockbox? Can you still trust the government who cannot even keep your retirement account solvent to take care of your other needs? I think my proposal will be, I'm open to your suggestions too. Maybe we have to raise retirement age. How are we going to fix this problem? I hate to do this, but the people who put money in the Social Security and supposed to give them money back. We could ask people voluntarily, if their income is very high, to also volunteer to contribute. But that's another example I want to propose. We need to allow people under 30 to opt out. Otherwise, by the time you retire, money is not there. So let's rely on ourselves instead of relying on more government to do everything perfect right for you. It's not going to happen.
Colonel Glenn.
Well, the answer to your question is yes. So, now that we've said that, let's actually talk about the issue. Because a lot of people think that this is an entitlement. It's not. It's an earned benefit. And I want you to understand that if you've gone through that and you've contributed to that, you have my commitment. I look at that as a contract that I'm going to honor to you. Because it's near and dear to my heart. There's so many people that have spent time and effort and money to be able to contribute to this, and they have relied on that. So I think it's very important for people in office to recognize the fact that that's important. But we do need to do something for that next generation. And that's why I think it's so important that we encourage savings. But in order to do that, you have to have a job. Think about what's happening here. Right here on the Western Slope. We have people in Washington, D.C. that are shutting down jobs. 1,200 jobs are going to be lost because of excessive regulations through the EPA. We want to start talking about Social Security benefits. Think about that. Think about somebody on a fixed income having to do that. And Michael Bennett supports that. Think about when you start looking at energy independence. This is what is near and dear to my heart. I stand for energy independence because it's a job. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And his policies and the things that he's supporting are shutting that down. We can do better, ladies and gentlemen.
Senator Bennett.
So first on the Social Security point, I also say yes, and we're going to have to work together in a bipartisan way, just as Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill did. I sometimes wonder whether Ronald Reagan could run for president these days, because his positions were actually pretty much in the mainstream of American political thought, and he worked well with the other side, which seems to be penalized by a lot of people these days in our politics. But the answer is yes. To respond to Darryl's points on the 1,200 jobs, a lot of people in this room who worked together with me to protect those jobs at the Colorado mine when the Interior Department wasn't moving fast enough, and that mine was threatened. Those mines were threatened to be shut down, and we fought hard to make sure that didn't happen. And everybody in this room knows, and I know we're going to have conversations about regulations, and you've heard it all day long. We've been engaged in an incredible shale revolution in this country in the last 8 years, the last decade, with directional drilling, with fracking. And it has created a huge market displacement that we need to address in an honest way with respect to coal. These low energy prices have given us a great opportunity to find new markets, and I've been working on that. That's why we lifted the ban on crude oil exports. That's why I've worked to speed up LNG export facilities in the country. That's why we're working together on Jordan Cove. So don't come here and tell me that I'm responsible for 1,200 jobs leaving this community. We need to do the right thing to retrain people, to put people in the opportunity. Saying, I won't go over to Les's card.
Thank you very much, Senator. We have way too many seconds.
You probably got that by getting another candidate, sorry.
Yes, I will work with all parties from both sides if I go to Washington to fix Social Security. But I also want to let you know this is an